In the early 1970s, South Korea was a safe and fast expanding country until a series of terrible killings shocked the country to its core and left families scarred by a serial killer they'll never forget. Kim Dae Doo was a former petty criminal who turned into a ruthless killer. But what prompted Kim to start killing, and how did he get caught? Before we get into that, let's learn about his early life. Kim was born in a small village in Yungokri as the oldest son among two brothers and four sisters. While his father had wanted him to go to a prestigious middle school, he had become a bit of a delinquent and was sent to study at a school in Gwangju, but Kim continued to ignore his schoolwork. When he turned 17, Kim gave up on the idea of entering middle school and returned to work at the farm in his hometown as he wanted to earn some money. He moved to Mokpo, where he found work at a furniture store. However, he quit quickly after getting hired and made a living doing odd jobs in the area. After a few more years, he returned home for a short time before heading up to Seoul, where he lived as what could be best described as a wanderer. Although he did have a home around this time, he received an exemption from the military service because of his weak physical frame. While living in Seoul, he ended up becoming involved in an assault case and was sent to jail twice. Despite pleas for help to his family and friends, he was now labeled an ex-con, and he began to hate society for what he felt was a sense of exclusion he was now facing. His first murder was on August 13th. Kim snuck into a little house in Imgok that was owned by an elderly couple. Kim intended to rob the house, but when the man confronted him, he grabbed a scythe the couple used for farming and began attacking the man, killing the man after only a few blows. Kim then beat his wife nearly to death with a pestle before stealing a flashlight and fleeing. His second crime came 6 days later, when he and his accomplice, who was a 27-year-old man named Kim Hae-young, attacked a family running their store, killing an elderly couple and their 7-year-old grandson, before stealing 250 won, around 2 cents in modern times today, and various beverages, then running off. After this, Kim and Hae-young decided to part ways. 2 weeks later, he fled to Seoul, where he stayed with his older sister. Later that week, he decided to kill an elderly man who was living alone. No further information was given about this murder, so I can only mention that it happened out of respect for the victim. Kim committed his worst crime yet on September 25th, when he broke into a family of four's house. The home was owned by a grandmother and her 3 grandchildren. Kim first attacked the grandmother with a meat cleaver, stabbing her in multiple areas, including the neck, chest, and stomach area. After killing her, Kim went over to her 2 grandchildren, who were 2 boys, ages 5 and 7, and attacked them so viciously that the handle of the knife broke off. Kim then dragged the 11-year-old little girl out of her home and attempted to essay her, but failed in doing so. Instead, Kim grabbed a piece of cloth nearby and tied the little girl's face to a tree, which ended up suffocating her to death. Kim's rampage continued shortly after, as he targeted another family of 3, killing 2 young parents in their 20s and their 3-year-old child. Days later, he essayed and murdered another mother and her 3-month-old newborn. Kim went on to kill another young couple, but little information is available about the details of the victims and their murder. Kim's final murder happened on October 2nd. He tried to recruit a fellow ex-convict to join him, but the man instead stole Kim's belongings and fled. Kim quickly chased him, caught the man, and killed him. Afterwards, he stripped the jeans from the man's body and fled the scene. Kim eventually got caught when he went to a laundromat and attempted to clean the bloody jeans of his last victim. When he was asked by the owner of the laundromat why there was so much blood on the jeans, Kim lied and said that he got into a fight with his friend, and that the spots were from a nosebleed as a result of the fight. The owner didn't believe Kim and contacted the police immediately. Not long after, Kim was arrested and taken to the police station. There, he repeated his original story, that the bloodstains were a result of the fight, but later on changed his story and said that he had been beaten up by local thugs. In an attempt to verify what he said, the detectives interrogated a few local gangsters, all of which denied even meeting Kim. After this, detectives figured that Kim was likely a murderer and began pressuring him for the real cause of the bloodstains. Eventually, Kim confessed to his crimes and also mentioned that he had an accomplice, who was shortly arrested afterwards. At the trial, it is said that Kim was allegedly seen chewing gum and laughing loudly. He was sentenced to death by hanging, and his accomplice was given life in prison, but eventually got executed. Let me know what you thought about this case in the comments. For me personally, this case was probably one of the worst I've ever seen, just because of the amount of victims and so little information.